Hi, I'm Douglas Caballero, and we are here at Nikki Beach at the Spoke Club at the Toronto International Film Festival. And I'm pleased to have as my guest Rossif Sutherland. He's an actor, he's a man who's lived in a few different places.
Indeed,
and, you've got 3 films here at the festival right now.
Yeah, I got a film called Hyena Road about the war in Afghanistan, a film called River that we shot in Laos, which is about a doctor who was on the run and trying to come up with his own sense of justice, and it's so hard to explain. He's a doctor who's committed a crime, but ultimately for what he considers to be the right reason. He intervened in the rape of a young local girl and confronted the assailant. And as a result of that, my character sees red and ends up killing the guy. And I can't explain, the character can't explain the story to the authorities without coming off as, you know, what he was, a killer, but a killer for the right. How do you explain that? So he's on the run in this foreign land, trying to make it across the border because there's no extradition treaty with Laos, and I would be stuck in jail for the rest of my life. And so it explores the idea of a guy who's got a very strong sense of what's right and wrong. He's a doctor, he saves lives, he intervenes in a rape, but as a result he becomes a killer, and it's about that sense of what do I have to do in order to be able to live with myself. How can I explain myself to others when I can't understand what exactly I did? Because I think we all have that aspect of us, which is a gift as an actor, a gift that comes with quite a bit of weight too, because you explore all these emotional avenues that hopefully, if you're lucky enough, such as I am, you don't live in your real life, but it's a funny thing of pretending. If you pretend one same thing over and over and over and over again, just like telling a story, you know, a lie. You tell the lie enough, and it has a sort of truth, you know, to it. You start adding colors to this thing that and so something that's just on a page becomes real to you, and that's your job. That's what you sign up for, and it comes with, sometimes it's a lot to shake off.
Sure, it's a heavy topic, and that's not the only film that you have here that's heavy. You also have Hyena Road, which is about the Canadian military in Afghanistan.
Yeah, the role of the Canadian military in Afghanistan, which is not a very popular war, and anyway, war ought not be popular as far as where I stand, but it's a very naive point of view. I come from the place of why can't everybody just get along? But the reality is that, you know, we all crowd this land together, and we're all trying to find a home and a sense of belonging, and we are also very, same as in the film River, where the animal comes out of me. We have a sense of correcting a wrong by sometimes committing another wrong, and that sense of justice. But anyway, that's war, but it wasn't the purpose of the film. The purpose of the film was not to place judgment on whether war is right or wrong, but it was about exploring the lives of these heroes.
Right. How the war affects them, it seems. There's a lot of action, which is exciting,
yeah.
But also there's a lot of drama, it seems, in the trailer as well.
Yeah. It very much explores the shared sacrifice of the Afghans and the Canadian military, and along, you know, all the allies and the Americans and the English, and etc. But it's a very ambitious thing within 2 hours to try and give an overview of the confusion of war.
Where was that shot?
It was shot in Jordan, and it was shot in Winnipeg, on an army base, Shiloh. Right. They tried to make, and they successfully did so. The sets were really quite extraordinary.
It looks amazing in the trailer. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, I haven't seen the film, so I only got to see the scenes that I was in because I had to dub the film in French. I speak French. So I grew up in Paris.
Right.
And yeah, that was quite the experience. That was a day and a half in the studio, having to speak over myself, trying to bring life to something that I did before in a language that is different than the one I spoke. And there was actually quite a bit of freedom in that, because a lot of actors feel quite uncomfortable with the idea of ADR, because they believe the moment was sacred. You capture that moment of truth, and that truth lives in that moment, same as in the theater. And if you don't capture it, then it's disappeared. Mm-hmm. And anything you try to do and fix it is just a bang-up job. It's not, just putting a Band-Aid on. But maybe it's because of my father. But the opportunity to go into a studio and to actually see footage and to use your voice to add another controlled dimension to it, to an environment where you were thinking about a bunch of other things, and I take great joy in doing that kind of work.